As a chronic overthinker, Jane had always found it difficult to make decisions. She would spend hours weighing the pros and cons of every possible outcome, analyzing every detail, and second-guessing herself until she was paralyzed with indecision. Her overthinking habit had started in childhood, when her parents had always encouraged her to think things through before making any decision. While this was a useful skill in some situations, it had become a hindrance in her adult life. Jane's overthinking had affected every aspect of her life, from her relationships to her work. She had missed out on opportunities because she was too afraid to take risks, and she had sabotaged her own success by doubting her abilities. One day, Jane realized that her overthinking had become a serious problem. She was constantly stressed, anxious, and unable to enjoy the present moment. She knew that she needed to break free from this cycle of overthinking, but she didn't know how. She tried everything she could think of: meditation, mindfulness, therapy, but nothing seemed to work. She was still stuck in her own head, unable to let go of her worries and fears. One day, as she was walking through the park, she stumbled upon a group of children playing on the playground. They were laughing, running around, and having fun without a care in the world. Watching them, Jane realized that she had forgotten how to let go and enjoy life. She decided to take a cue from the children and try to live in the moment. She started by taking small steps, taking a walk outside without her phone, enjoying a cup of coffee without checking her email, and spending time with friends without worrying about work. At first, it was difficult for Jane to let go of her worries. Her mind would wander back to her to-do list or her latest problem, and she would feel guilty for not worrying about it. But gradually, she started to feel more relaxed and at ease. She realized that the more she focused on the present moment, the less she worried about the future. She also started to reframe her negative thoughts, replacing them with positive affirmations. Whenever she found herself slipping back into her old habits of overthinking, she would remind herself that she had the power to choose her thoughts. She would take a deep breath and repeat a mantra to herself, such as, "I am calm and at peace," or "I trust in myself and the universe." With time and practice, Jane learned to break free from her overthinking habits. She was able to make decisions more quickly and confidently, and she felt more relaxed and happy than she had in years. However, breaking free from overthinking didn't come without its challenges. There were times when Jane would slip back into her old habits, especially when she was faced with a particularly difficult decision or stressful situation. During those times, she would remind herself that overthinking was a natural part of her personality and that it was okay to feel anxious or worried. She would take a step back and give herself some time to think things through, but then she would force herself to make a decision and stick with it. Over time, Jane realized that breaking free from overthinking was a process, not a destination. She would never be completely free from her worries and fears, but she could learn to manage them in a healthy way. She also learned that it was important to surround herself with positive and supportive people who would encourage her to take risks and believe in herself. She started to seek out mentors and friends who would overcome their own struggles with anxiety and overthinking, and she found comfort in their stories and advice. In the end, Jane realized that breaking free from overthinking was not just about changing her mindset, but it was also about changing her habits and behaviors. It required effort and persistence, which in the end was worth it. With a newfound sense of clarity and confidence, Jane was able to pursue her dreams and live a more fulfilling life.